This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and in this Old Gamers Rant, I'm going to kind of play devil's advocate to my point about how people shouldn't excuse certain things when it comes to gaming, and go on the side of things where you shouldn't make up or over exaggerate issues to try and make a point as to how something isn't as good as you think it is. Or in a lot of cases, when people do that, it's simply to bring down its stature in comparison to other stuff. Now, as I said, if I see something that I think is an issue, I'll speak on it, because just as much as I can praise you for doing things right, I can criticize you for doing things wrong. I think that's fair. I think that's the way things should be. Keep it real, as the crowd would say. You gotta show both sides of the card. That being said, there's a lot of people, especially on the internet, because that's what we do on the internet, that over exaggerate things and blow them out of proportions. One of the things that I've always laughed at when people react is the whole quote-unquote resolution gate bullshit, especially in terms of consoles, because as I've said tons of times before, console gamers never really cared about resolutions or things like that. Frame rates and all of that technical jargon was the last thing on their mind. All they cared was, does the game look good? Does it play well? Am I going to have fun? The end. That's pretty much a console gamer's mentality. The reason why console gamers, people who don't indulge in PC gaming, go the route that they go is because that technical stuff, all of this information, it never really mattered. They just want to play the games that they want to play when they want to play it without the hassle. The stigma of PCs being so fucking hard to use or hard to deal with, yes, there is some difficulty with PC because it requires a lot more hands-on work. I know a lot of people hate when I say that, but yes, you are a lot more involved in the way that your hardware runs, as opposed to with consoles, basically, once you purchase it, it's going to be what it's going to be, and that's it. You don't have to worry about anything except for buying the game and these days downloading patches to fix bugs, something that PC gamers have always had to do before. So welcome to PC gaming reality, console users. But overall, yes, it's less maintenance for consoles, whereas PCs, I'm not going to say it's high maintenance, but yeah, you do have to do a little bit more in some cases to get things to function the way that you want them to function. That's just the truth of it. Sorry that it seemed to really annoy people when I say that, but it's just reality. It's honesty. Now, does this mean I'm burying PC? No. I'm just saying what it is. Now, me burying PC would be, PC games don't always work right because PCs can't handle certain things. It's just horrible. You can't play a game unless you spend $1,500 on a PC. That's the only way you can get a game to run. That's not true. That's exaggeration. Because in reality, most games will run on a $500 PC. Most, like I've said plenty of times, most PC game requirements are so low that you can run most games that release now on a PC that's at least 3-4 years old. You know what I mean? A lot of times you look at the specs, they'll say second gen I processors, for example. Well, we're about to be on the 5th gen. So the fact that they can go back 3 generations and processors mean that, hey, you have a lot of headroom. You don't have to get a new computer to run these things. But a lot of people like to throw out that misconception about PC gaming because it sounds good when they're making their arguments, or especially when they're making an argument about why console is better. It's really not like that. Flip side, same thing with PC. PC gamers always throw out the it's cheaper. Yes, in a lot of cases it's cheaper, including for new games, but the majority of those cheap prices tend to extend to older games. There are newer games that if you can't get access to them on websites that discount them for you, you'll have to pay $60. They do release $60 game. It's not like PC is devoid of that. It's just less often, and a lot of times it's that way because it takes forever for PC versions to drop as opposed to consoles. Also, reality is most companies are going to charge less. Like Ubisoft, they charge less for PC because they know they can get away with it. Because sadly, not as many people are going to buy it on PC as they will on console. So it kind of doesn't. It's like bonus money, in their opinion. I'm sure, things like that. But me saying that doesn't help the argument for a PC gamer. And I'm not knocking the cheaper prices argument because, like I said, for the most part, that is very true. You are going to get games cheaper, but there's also some reasons to that may not always be the case. Because I remember when StarCraft first came out, I didn't want to buy it because it was $60. Fuck you, Blizzard, $60 games on PC. That actually offended me because I used to play PC games all the time, and I was used to PC games only being no more than $40. So when I saw my first $60 PC game, I was like, what the fuck type of shit is that? But it happens now because people are going to try to do things to profit. It just doesn't happen as often, and I totally agree with that. But that's the whole picture. Don't just give the half picture, is I guess my point. Again, be truthful, be honest, be candid, however you want to spin it. But just like you don't have to make up lies in the positive, you don't need to make up the lies in the negative either. Again, I appreciate people who give me an honest opinion, because if I'm looking to get into something like PC gaming or console gaming, I'm the type of person who wants to know the real story. I want to know the positives and the negatives. I want to know the ins and the outs. I don't need you to just give me the information that you feel will sell me on your product. That's for the marketing departments of businesses. That's what they do because that's what they're paid to do. They're paid to try to convince you to buy their product. You, as a fan of something, you're not getting paid for this. And this is one of the things that always has bothered me about fanboys, is that at the end of the day, there's no benefit to you spreading these lies, tearing down your product's competition, because what are you getting out of it? You're not being rewarded for that at all. Status quo is going to remain. Xboxes are going to sell. PlayStations are going to sell. Nintendo consoles are going to sell. PCs are going to sell. Whoever likes either of those, they're going to be happy with their product. They're not going to give a fuck about what you say, especially the real smart ones who don't get into that back and forth shit. Like me, I don't care. I like my PS4. I'm happy with that. I may get an Xbox One, but at the moment it doesn't interest me. And that's it. It just doesn't interest me. No hate, no, anger, no animosity towards Microsoft, because why? Microsoft didn't do shit to me. So why am I getting hype? And why would I sit up here and tell you guys, well, Microsoft's not as good as PS4 because blah, blah, blah. I don't need to sell that to you. I can tell you why I think the PS4 is good. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you. I mean, I can give you my opinion of what I think is better. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to conclude it with, it's all about preference. It's all about your choice. Those are the things that I see, the positive and negative of each of them. And that's how it goes. I'm not going to just run down another product just to be running it down. That's just not my way, and it's the way that we shouldn't be. Say what you think of the positives and negatives of everything, of all aspects, and keep it real with people. Don't don't be a propagandist. Being a propagandist is pretty fucking lame. When you go to that route, you kind of like make yourself look a little silly, in my opinion. But all right, I guess that's the end of this trilogy of rants about being honest and open about gaming platforms and all of that. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.